How cigarette manufacturing works in the factory. It's one of the most controversial products in the world. A slender stick of paper, tobacco, and chemicals that has influenced culture, health, and economies for over a century. But have you ever wondered how cigarettes are actually made? What goes on behind the factory doors before that tiny cigarette ends up in a box on the shelf? Today, we're taking you deep inside a modern cigarette manufacturing facility to uncover the step-by-step process behind one of the most mass-produced consumer goods on the planet. But before we spark up this story, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which product you want us to explore next. Let's begin. Cigarettes, as we know them today, began as hand-rolled tobacco in the 19th century. But it wasn't until the invention of the bond sack machine in the 1880s that mass production became possible. This revolutionary machine could roll over 200 cigarettes per minute, changing the industry forever. Since then, cigarette production has evolved into a highly automated, tightly controlled operation. From hand-rolled luxury to mass-market staple, the story of cigarette manufacturing mirrors the rise of industrialization itself. Tobacco trading floors with buyers examining leaf samples. The global tobacco trade also began booming, with leaf auctions in the United States, Malawi, India, and Brazil. These hubs became central to how cigarette companies sourced and priced their raw materials, newspaper clippings, and legal documents from early tobacco regulations. With the rise of mass production came scrutiny. The first regulations surrounding tobacco use and advertising date back to the early 20th century. These laws have evolved drastically, especially in light of mounting health concerns. Raw materials, the tobacco blend. Farmers harvesting tobacco leaves in fields across North Carolina, Brazil, and Turkey. The journey starts in the fields. Tobacco leaves are harvested by hand or machine, depending on the region. There are multiple varieties of tobacco, including Virginia, Burley, and Oriental, each offering different flavor profiles and burning characteristics. Tobacco leaves hanging in barns to cure. Once harvested, the leaves are cured, a process that can involve air curing, flue curing, sun curing, or fire curing. Each method impacts the color, aroma, and nicotine level of the tobacco. The leaves are then aged, sometimes for up to 2 years, to deepen flavor and reduce harshness. Bales of tobacco being loaded into trucks. The cured and aged leaves are pressed into large bales and shipped to cigarette factories around the world. Here they'll be transformed into the finely cut blend used in cigarette production. Tobacco blend master examining leaf characteristics under light. Creating the perfect blend is part science, part art. Blend masters evaluate texture, oil content, aroma, and elasticity to ensure the tobacco will burn consistently and deliver the intended sensory profile. Computer-assisted blending simulation showing ingredient ratios. Advanced blending systems use algorithms to calculate the optimal ratio of different tobacco types, achieving the same flavor profile in every batch. Processing the tobacco bales being opened and inspected. At the factory, the bales are opened and the leaves are inspected for quality. Foreign materials are removed and the leaves are sorted based on texture, moisture, and color. Leaves being cut and shredded into small ribbons. Next, the leaves are passed through shredders that slice them into thin ribbons. This is called the cut rag stage. The tobacco is then passed through conditioning drums, where steam and water are added to achieve the right moisture content for processing. Flavor and chemical additives being sprayed on the tobacco. Flavorings and additives are now introduced. These can include licorice, cocoa, menthol, sugars, and hundreds of other ingredients, all intended to enhance taste, mask harshness, or modify burn rate. The exact blend is often a closely guarded secret. Vacuum and sieving systems separating unwanted tobacco dust. Dust and tiny particles are filtered out through air vacuum systems to ensure a cleaner smoke and reduce clogging in machinery later in the process. Paper, filters, and other components. Rolls of cigarette paper and acetate tow used in filters. While the tobacco is being prepared, other components are also being readied. Cigarette paper, often treated with burn agents to control how the cigarette smolders, is spooled and fed into machines. The filters, made from a material called acetate tow, are formed by bundling fine synthetic fibers and shaping them into the iconic white plug. Ink being applied to print branding or logos on the filter tips. Brand logos and decorative rings are often printed onto the filter or paper. using food-grade inks in a highly automated printing process. Machines spraying glue and cutting filter rods. Filters are manufactured separately and joined to the cigarette rod with precision cutting machines and adhesive applicators. This junction must be strong and seamless. Humidity-controlled storage areas for filter rods. To maintain structural integrity, filters are stored in controlled environments with monitored temperature and humidity. Any deviation can affect the final product's draw and taste. Making the cigarette. High-speed assembly. Cigarette-making machines running at full speed. With all components ready, it's time to assemble the cigarettes. High-speed cigarette-making machines combine the tobacco, paper, and filters at rates of up to 20,000 cigarettes per minute. Tobacco being poured into a forming chamber. The shredded tobacco is formed into a continuous rod, known as a tobacco column, which is then wrapped in paper. Filters are simultaneously produced and attached using glue. Each stick is cut to exact size and passed along the production line. Internal machine view showing the precision cutting and rolling mechanisms. This process is measured down to millimeters. Sensors monitor every stage to ensure weight, density, and length are within specifications. Any stick that deviates is instantly removed. Time lapse of a full day's production showing the staggering scale of output. Each machine is calibrated hourly, with maintenance cycles designed to avoid shutdowns. Some factories produce over 50 million cigarettes a day. Operators in control rooms monitoring dozens of production parameters. Operators oversee machine performance, adjust configurations, and respond to anomalies in real time, maintaining consistency across millions of units. Quality control, perfection in every pack. Technicians inspecting cigarettes under microscopes. Quality control is key in cigarette manufacturing. Cigarettes are checked for firmness, weight, air draw, filter attachment, and moisture content. Robotic arms scanning and testing samples. Automated systems randomly select cigarettes for testing. Sophisticated machines measure draw resistance and burn rate, ensuring a consistent smoking experience. Defective cigarettes being ejected into a separate bin. Even a slightly misaligned filter or uneven tobacco fill is enough to disqualify a cigarette from making it into the final pack. Lab technicians conducting sensory testing in controlled rooms. In some plants, experienced testers manually smoke sample sticks to assess taste, aroma, and burn smoothness, ensuring consistency from batch to batch. Cross-section analysis of tobacco fill using X-ray and imaging tech. High-resolution imaging and digital weight tracking ensure every cigarette meets internal benchmarks. Visual cross-section scans are used to confirm fill uniformity. Packaging, from factory to store shelf cigarettes being placed into packs and cartons. Once they pass inspection, the cigarettes are grouped, packed into boxes, and sealed in cellophane. Packaging is a crucial marketing tool, with different regions requiring different health warnings, tax stamps, and anti-counterfeit measures. Cartons being placed into master cases and loaded for shipment. Cigarettes are boxed into cartons and cartons into master cases. These are barcoded, stacked onto pallets, and shipped to warehouses, distributors, and retailers. Line workers monitoring print alignment and seal integrity. Any minor misprint or loose seal can result in rejected stock. Packaging is one of the most visually monitored stages of production. Anti-counterfeiting holograms and QR codes being applied. Modern packaging includes security features like holograms, special inks, and scannable codes, protecting against fake goods and ensuring traceability. Conclusion: cigarettes being packed, labeled, and moved along the conveyor belt. From fields to factories, the making of a cigarette is a complex blend of agriculture, chemistry, and precision engineering. It's a glimpse into a world few see, and a process that continues to shape global conversations. Thanks for watching the Decode Lab. If you found this documentary insightful, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into how the world works, one product at a time.